The Mushroom Kingdom is being attacked. We seek the Penis King.
How can I help you?
The Mushroom Kingdom is under attack.
And what do I get for this?
I'm not sure.
Yet again. Didn't they just attack us last month? I thought I destroyed every short penis.
There was a few you left behind.
Bring a weapon. Give me a second.
Damn, short mushroom.
Nunchakus in a while. So tell me about this. So when I went to Asia, I wanted to show them that basically you don't have to live with a short penis, okay? Because their resting length is, I don't know, 2.5 inch maybe. But the issue is once I bring it out, yes, they're gonna have a circumcised look because I need all the skin, but it's worth it because the penis is gonna become a big part of a guy's life, right? But I kind of change up my technique on how you re-anchor it without putting too much stress on the stitch so that allows time for the collagen to form because there's no stitch that's gonna be able to hold a guy's erection. Some of them are very strong. The only stronger erections in a horse, but that's why I don't do penis elongation on horse. They don't need it. But for humans, if you're uncircumcised, you're gonna leave here like a baller.
Let it's priceless, take it to the moon. Priceless, one day will be soon. When it's priceless.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Pham again. So we're gonna restart the podcast. Apparently there's a lot of short mushroom coming and they're overrunning. I thought I had destroyed them, but I guess there's a lot more. I guess all these guys just been stuffing their pants. Well, full disclosure, this is just my opinion and my opinion only. So I hope you enjoy this episode, but I'm gonna revisit one of the episodes that a lot of people have texted me about or messaged me about also. So let me explain about penis elongation. A lot of guys thinks that penis elongation is putting some sort of device in and all that. If you put a device in, you won't be able to get a spontaneous erection. That's usually for, the penile implant and all that. That's usually for patients that have erectile dysfunction. That's not what I do. What I do is, generally speaking, across all races, this is not the mushroom that you guys smoke, is it? I don't think so. Yeah, let's put this mushroom head back here. So generally speaking, the difference in penis size probably is not more than 1.5 inch across races. Now, I know some of you guys are like, no, that's not true. That's not true. Well, it is true. So especially for Asians, because I went to Asia a few weeks ago and believe it or not, they were shocked that you can actually do this. So the best way to kind of show it would be this. So the penis is kind of like this, and some guys, their penis is out, and so it looks long, right? And some guys' penis is short, but that's because it's sunken in here. This is the bladder. Now, I know there's some controversy in terms of, does penis elongation work or whatnot? Well, if it didn't work, I don't think I'd be this busy. And so let me just kind of explain what I mean by that. The most important thing is skin, okay? And what I mean by that is this. So this is a circumcised penis. So if I release everything and there's a ligament here, and that's kind of optional. I don't like to release the ligament because it can make your penis unstable. Now, can I release the ligament and then suture a permanent suture to the pubis symphysis, which is this right here? But I just don't know how stable that really is. And I really don't know how much more length you can actually get. And so let me kind of explain something first. A lot of guys seem to think that, well, maybe it's just a fat pad and all that. The fat pad really is an illusion, right? So just imagine this guy is skinny, but you have a lot of, but imagine he's chunky. Let's just use this for an example. Well, then his suprapubic fat pad is going to push on here. And so it's going to give it an illusion of a short penis. But if his penis is anchored, then if he lose weight, his penis is still going to be the same size. When you measure it, it's the same, right? And so it can't be that. It has to be some sort of anchoring right here. And so what I do is I free up the whole penis. Then just imagine this is kind of like your collagen. Once I free up your penis, and let's say I bring it out here, then what I do is I suture the penis. Now I'm not going to tell you how I do it because that's just, that's a proprietary thing. And basically, collagen is going to form around that suture and it's going to give you an increase in resting length, right? And so when you have an increase in resting length and the penis is already locked here, when you get an erection, it goes both ways. But if your penis is out like this, well then of course, when you get the erection, there's not going to be a lot that's going to be pushed back here. It's going to be pushed out here. And usually the testicle, this is just for illustration, the testicle doesn't, this is a Superman position. I've never seen a guy that can do a Superman position on the testicle, but you never know, right? So I hope that explains kind of the suprapubic fat pad. That's why we don't reduce suprapubic fat pad. Now, you're going to have guys that have suprapubic fat pad that is just so big, like, the Pillsbury guy. Then in that case, if his penis is short and he doesn't have enough skin, then when I bring it out, I can only bring it out with whatever skin you have left. Now, there's a little bit of stuff I can do to try to increase the skin length. But if you're like Pillsbury Doughboy and it just covers this, well then in that case, and you can't exercise or whatever, maybe Ozempic or some sort of weight loss can help you with that. Now, when I went to Asia, a lot of guys were very surprised because in Asian countries, they don't circumcise. And so I recently did an Asian kid who, well, I call him a kid, he was 21. His resting length was 2.5 inch, but he had like all this skin. And since he was from Vietnam, he didn't really circumcise, right? So I brought him from 2 inch resting to 7 inch. And now with erection, he's at 8 inch. Now just think about that for a second. The stereotype, you got this Asian guy that you think probably, man, he got 3 centimeter penis and the average penis is about 5 centimeter and with erections about 5.5. Now you got this big baller with a shoe size of 6.5. But his penis resting length is 7, and when he gets an erection, it's 8.5. And so for a month, he kept looking at it like it's gonna be gone. So I called on him one day just to make sure, like, hey, you doing okay and all that. And his mom asked me, can you talk to him? Because he keeps looking at it thinking that it's gonna go away. So I talked to him, I said, listen, the penis is yours. It's not like a car, I can't repo it, okay? If your mom, well, she paid for the surgery, but even if she didn't, what am I gonna do? I can't repo that penis and bring it back in. And so I just have to cut a loss. But of course, they're honest, they didn't do that. And so there's a lot of misconception because here in America, a lot of guys are circumcised. And so how much length I can give you is really gonna be how much skin do you have. And that's a concept that people really need to understand. And that's why we have a lot of Asian patients that fly over here to do their surgery because they're not circumcised. So when I went to Asia, I wanted to show them that basically you don't have to live with a short penis, okay? Because their resting length is, 2.5 inch maybe. But the issue is once I bring it out, yes, they're gonna have a circumcised look because I need all the skin, but it's worth it because the penis is gonna become a big part of a guy's life, right? And so you really want to make sure that the penis stays out, stays locked. The key is locked because if the sutures break and the collagen hasn't formed, it'll sink back down, okay? And I won't tell you what kind of sutures I use because that's a trade secret. And so I hope that kind of makes sense, okay? Because a lot of guys come in here with the expectation of, hey, I want 12 inch. Well, if I can give everybody a 12 inch, I'll make Elon Musk look like a peasant. And that's just not gonna happen. So everybody will get some sort of resting length And that resting length typically will, not all the time, but will translate to increase in erection length, right? Because you're locked. The penis is locked. So if it's locked, then it, when it's spread, it'll come out this way, right? Sometimes the stitch breaks and the penis sinks in. And so, with those, it's rare, but it happens. Then I kind of have to re-anchor it. But I kind of change up my technique on how you re-anchor it without putting too much stress on the stitch, so that allows time for the collagen to form, because there's no stitch that's gonna be able to hold a guy's erection. Some of them are very strong. The only stronger erections in a horse, but that's why I don't do penis elongation on horse. They don't need it. But for humans, if you're uncircumcised, you're gonna leave here like a baller. If you're circumcised with very little skin, you'll probably leave here like a broke baller. What I call a double B. But for the most part, every guy kind of has enough skin for me to kind of give you something, okay? And then the other misconception is the anatomy of the penis. So the penis really should have the glans penis, and then you should have kind of another layer of skin here called the interpreputial skin, and that's kind of the erogenous zone. And so that allows your penis to have an erection, as well as it'll allow you to, kind of get that sensation. So yeah, you have some sensation on the head, but next time if you guys play with yourself, try to touch this part. You'll probably get an erection quicker. Or, have your girlfriend, wife, whoever, whatever your lifestyle is, doesn't matter. But really, that's kind of, you kind of have to understand the anatomy of the penis. And so same thing here. You see, when I anchor, you got to anchor it to something substantial. So it used to be that they would just anchor the deep dermis, but you have to understand the deep dermis is just kind of fat and some fascia, so it can move easily. And so what I found out is that there's a way to anchor it without depending on the deep dermis, which is the traditional way of thinking, right? And so I've been trying that technique for a while, and the results actually is pretty good. And so I hope, that kind of makes sense. Now, in terms of erectile dysfunction, so these are the nerves, kind of, these are kind of just peripheral nerves. Your main nerves is going to run kind of where your prostate is, which is right here. So, in theory, can you get erectile dysfunction? Maybe. And not everyone agrees that penis elongation works. But I mean, if it didn't work, I don't think I'll be in business, right? And so I think it just has to do with technique. And, some people who write about, penis elongation doesn't work. Could it be that maybe they're just not a good surgeon? I don't know. But all the ones I've done, I really never seen erectile dysfunction. They always come back. And then plus, I use a substance that is FDA indicated to really protect the peripheral nerves. And then there's a lot of research now into reversing erectile dysfunction, because really there's really nothing that can reverse erectile dysfunction. Basically, once the nerves that basically control, the erections and all that, once those are shot, I just don't think you can get the erection. So there's a lot of people looking into hyaluronic acid, like injecting it into the penis to try to rejuvenate the nerves. We'll see, but that's probably the only thing that's kind of promising right now. But for now, since I don't really go into the corpora, then I use something called Versarap, which is a hyaluronic acid that is FDA approved to basically protect peripheral nerves. And what that helps with is basically, whenever you dissect the penis, peripheral nerves are going to get cut. I mean, that's just it. You cut your hand here, you're going to cut your peripheral nerves. And sometime when you heal and you don't have that sensation, that's because the peripheral nerve just never came back. With the hyaluronic acid, the way it works is, or Versarap, the way it works is, it's a plant-based substance that you kind of just coat the penis, the corpora, and the urethra with. And what it does is, during the first stage of healing, the pores will open up very tiny so that nutrients can get to the nerves. Once nutrients gets to the nerves, then the nerves heal. Then after that, the pores get bigger so that molecules and fibroblasts and all this other good stuff can come in and heal it. And then after that, the pores get bigger so that more nutrients can come in, and then eventually the Versarap just kind of dissolve. Sometimes you can get a cyst, but it's very rare. The way the manufacturer have me apply it, and then it doesn't really have any clinical consequences if you do have a cyst. Usually 3 to 6 months it'll dissolve. If not, up to 2 years it'll dissolve. And so I hope this answers a lot of people's questions. Okay. So in terms of erectile dysfunction, in theory, yes. Can it happen? Yes. Have I seen it? No. And I do about 500 cases a year. I mainly only do penis, testicle, urethral reconstruction. When I started Crescent, that's what I believed in. Was I told my partners, listen, the only way to be good is to focus on one thing that you enjoy. And I literally got shafted because my partners hate penis. They're guys, but I don't know why they hate penis. And so I happen to enjoy fixing penis because, it helps a guy have more confidence, whatever it is. And I have a lot of before and picture, but you got to subscribe to my OnlyFans page so I can show you guys the pictures. Now I'm not going to be naked, obviously. The most you're going to see me naked is without my battle gear, but I can show you pictures. So, all these OnlyFans where you see all these girls and stuff, weak. What you want is before and after. I'm setting it up and I'm just trying to figure out what the price is. What do you guys think the price should be? See before and after. It's very stimulating. 2,000? Well, I was thinking about basing it based on if you want to see earthworms, $30 a month. But if you want to see anacondas, you get what you pay for. We're still working out the price, but I'm going to set up my OnlyFans page where, I'm Asian, and I don't trust anyone because I have a lot of enemies. So if I go under the knife, they'll probably make me 1 inch. And I only got 2 inch erect. And that's why I can wear skinny pants and it's flat. Even when I wear gray joggers, it's still flat. Now, sometimes I do stuff it just like girls that stuff their bras, when we go to the club, But the problem with that is like sometimes when you're dancing hard, then it just starts to roll down your leg. And then they think your penis is as long as your leg. But then they look at my shoe size and they're like, there's no way. But what I found is that if you use Charmin, which is thicker, it'll stay. But if you go get that Costco brand, it's gonna fall down your pants. So if you're gonna do it, trust me on this. Buy the Charmin triple thick, okay? Because if you go with the Costco brand, I'm sorry, Costco, I don't mean to call you out. Walmart, same thing. You get what you pay for. Don't buy the generic if you're gonna pay for a bottle service. A pack of Charmin's probably like $15, and that'll last you for like a month. Well, depending on how big you want it, but I usually stuff a whole roll, which is huge. But it just depends. It just depends on how, because what I do is when I go out, I wear big shoes and I stuff half the Charmin in the shoes so that, just like Ludacris. And then I put a whole roll down there, and then the ladies are like, no, that shit's legit. But anyways, that's just my advice for you mushroom heads out there before you come see me. So. But anyways, I hope this episode really helps people understand penis elongation, okay? So you can't just come in my clinic and go, hey, Dr. Pham, can I get 12-inch? I can give you a 12-inch ruler, but if you want a 12-inch penis, I don't know about that, And so, but anyways, but now if you want to know how to stuff and all that, I wrote a whole book on that. So like I said, my OnlyFans page should be up. It's going to be Penis King, and I'm working on the price, but it is going to be based on how large you want to see it. Like if you want to see little earthworms, then, probably, I think $30 a month is okay. Yeah. But if you just want to start to see like king cobra, anacondas and all that, I probably pay to see anaconda because, you may not get it, but y'all can dream, right? And so, but when do you think we can get an OnlyFans page up? Next week? Yeah. So why don't we do that? Let's do OnlyFans. I'm going to show you guys, how to stuff. That's, just a little extra. You know how it goes. A little extra tip there. With Charmin, and I'll show you what I mean by like the cheap toilet paper like the one the hospitals have. Trust me, me, when you start dancing, it's just gonna start dripping down here, and the girl's gonna be laughing at you. But if you go with Charmin, especially the triple ply, woo, that thing's gonna make it look, probably your Tesco can be Superman. But anyways, I hope that helps, kind of clarify some stuff. And I'm really glad to be back at this podcast. This is one of the, we'll be back in studio, obviously, but thanks to Fareed and you guys for coming here. I know I just got back and clinic's been crazy. Everybody wants their penis longer, coming in with earthworms, expecting anacondas. Subscribe to my OnlyFans and I'll explain even more why you can't just go King Cobra and Copperhead and all that, when you start out with an earthworm, especially those earthworm that is dead and dry. Ooh, those are the worst. I don't even know what to do with those. Anyways, the OnlyFans page and stuff, that's a joke, guys, okay? I'm not rich, but I'm not gonna subject myself to, and there's nothing wrong with OnlyFans, but I'm gonna try to keep it classy. You can't be penis king and then start doing OnlyFans. But times are getting tough, so we'll see. But apparently there's a lot of shroom heads out there, so I think we'll be okay. All right, Dr. Fam signing out. Crescent.
Like it's priceless, take it to the moon. Priceless, one day will be soon. Like it's priceless.